Good morning, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the official start of the Rookie Mode Podcast, episode numero uno, number one. I am your host for the night, Michael. I usually have a co-host sitting right beside me, but we're just going to roll with the punches, take one on the chin, just go on with the show as normal. Alright, so for this inaugural episode of the Rookie Mode Podcast, I'm going to be discussing some of the things that I saw in the Week 17 Titans-Texans game, and we're also going to be looking forward to this coming Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern for the Titans-Ravens playoff game. It was a great way to end the season, honestly. It finished up 11-5, finished top of the AFC South. Couldn't ask for a better way to end the season for sure, other than, what we've been asking for all along is any sort of defense. Some of the goods that came out of this game against the Texans, Derrick Henry, obviously the king, got 2,000 rushing yards, only the 8th player in NFL history to do so. First time anyone ever needed at least 200 rushing yards to break 2,000 in their last game. With Derrick rushing for 250 yards, another franchise record and a personal best for him, the fact that we only won the game 41-38 on a game-winning field goal as time expired, there's plenty of reason for concern going into the Ravens game on Sunday. The thing with how he did this year, why it's so crazy, because NFL defenses, everyone knows number 22 is going to get the ball. Jerry McNichols is not going to run for 100 yards on you. Dante Foreman is not going to run for 100 yards on you. Derrick could go for 300. Unironically, could hit 300. He could hit 300 in the Texans game if they gave him another possession. If they went into overtime, he already had 250. Just needs 50 more. The all-time single-game record, Adrian Peterson, 296 against the Cleveland Browns back in 2009, I think. It's a single-game record. You telling me Derrick couldn't hit that? The only problem that I see that might happen on offense this coming week is the injury concern with A.J. Brown's ankle. It's at the beginning of every single game for the past month at this point. The first catch that A.J. has, he goes on a slant route, he gets tackled, he's on the ground for 30 seconds, and he's clutching his ankle. If he gets any more tape on his ankle at this point, he's going to be basically playing in a walking boot. Hopefully he stays healthy. I think on the injury report he was listed as of Wednesday he was limited in practice. That's basically been par for the course for the past month for him. After that, I'd say everything else on the offense are perfectly fine. The offensive line's pretty good. They've been playing really well considering we lost about 4 different people, all the injuries bug in about a month's time. But yeah, offense pretty good. Nothing to complain about. The defense, there's a lot to complain about. There has been probably, that I can remember, 2 games this year where I said, wow, our defense was really good. And that was against 2 of the worst offenses in the league this year. Nothing really to be excited about. The one player that I would say it's wow, he's a good defensive player, He's doing pretty well despite what's happening. Jeffrey Simmons and probably Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler's got, I think, 5 picks on the year, maybe just 4. The way that Malcolm plays, he's an extremely, extremely physical player. He's got a big body. He can line up with the big dudes like DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins, all that. And he presses people a lot and makes sure that they do not have any room to work. And if they get lucky and get past him, he can't catch up to him. He's not that fast. And that's where the problems with Adoree being out for so long has been, because Adoree's the speed guy, Malcolm's the physical guy. So when you just get someone who can just blow past Malcolm without him getting a real good lick on him beforehand, then we're going to get burnt like we have been the entire year so far. Kevin Byard has been playing way below his standards for whatever reason. Shout out to MTSU alum. This is the first true year where he's he just hasn't been good for some reason. Like, what is the deal with Kevin Byard this year? He has a single pick that was basically a garbage time pick too. It was against the Lions, and it was against Chase freaking Daniel, who is Chase Daniel? Congratulations, you ended your interception drought, but like, it's not good enough. It's 100% not good enough for the level that he has played at before. When the defense is as bad as it is right now, we cannot have our all-pro level players playing like this is their first season in the league. Another thing that has stood out this year when talking about DPI, pass interference, roughing the passer, some of the officiating that I have seen on display this year is just absolutely horrendous. Across the league, specifically for the Titans, I understand it's like, I hate when the Titans get penalized. Sometimes they deserve it, sometimes they don't. But some of the penalties that occur in some of these Titans games are just absolutely ridiculous. To the point that it's legitimately a shame that it happens in an NFL game and that NFL referees are this incompetent with their officiating. Specifically, when we were at the goal line, we were trying to score to take the lead against the Texans. We were down 35-31, about 3 minutes left in the fourth. We're on the 15-ish yard line. Derrick Henry gets the ball, goes to the left, scores a touchdown. Was it Aaron Brewer, I think, was called for a holding? It was either Aaron Brewer or Ben Jones was called for just literally a phantom holding penalty, when in all reality it was just a textbook pancake block. He got on top of the dude, he sat him down on his butt, did nothing wrong, absolutely nothing illegal. But boop, yellow flag gets tossed, it's a holding penalty. Right after that holding penalty, even all the announcers, both of the announcers were reviewing as they normally do when penalties are called like that. And both, I think it was Jim Nantz and someone else, I can't remember who was calling the game, but they were looking at the penalty and just like, what did the officials see here? That's not a penalty. That's just a good block. And it was just a good block, but that's just how it goes sometimes in the NFL. You get bad calls to go your way sometimes, you get good calls to go your way sometimes, vice versa, going against you. Then on the next play, we get an illegal formation call, which after seeing the play, I can maybe understand what was happening, because one of our backup linemen checked in as a tight end, which you can do that. You can sub in a lineman for a tight in the tight end spot to become a blocker to run better, basically. We checked an extra offensive lineman in, and he was apparently off the ball. It was an illegal formation penalty. It was pretty iffy. Reviewing the play, I don't really see what was happening. Again, and maybe the homer talking in me, not wanting Titans get penalized, but it eventually just delayed the inevitable. Really, we still scored on that drive, but that sequence of plays and all those penalties was a bit frustrating. Not gonna lie. Obviously, we expect Henry, Tannehill, Davis, AJ, they're all going to do what they're going to do. But what I define Anthony Firkser as an X factor, it means that he's almost in that unsung hero type category where the announcer's not going to really know his name, which they don't know his name. They say Firkser all the time. He's that guy that's like the dependable, is like third and medium, third and semi-long, just leak Firkser right up the middle. He's going to catch a nice contested ball against any linebacker in the league. He is going to be, at least he should be, if the Titans want to win, the go-to guy on third and medium, third and semi-long to get the ball, catch it, stay in bounds, and then control the ball, get the first down, give it back to Derrick for 3 plays in a row. God forbid we get down like 2 scores somewhat late in the game. Firkser is going to be one of the go-to guys that Ryan Tannehill should look for, because the Ravens have 2 all-pro level cornerbacks Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey are going to be tied to AJ and Corey at the hip, interchangeably so. Jonnu Smith would usually be that guy, but as a lot of people know, he hasn't really been effective the past 2.5, 3 months at this point. They've basically converted Jonnu Smith into a sixth lineman, unfortunately. Who knows? Because he was on pace for an all-time great tight end season. Before Taylor Lewan got injured, he had 17 receptions, 4 touchdowns, a few hundred yards, and that was through like week 4. Had he gone he ended the year with 8 touchdowns too. So starting the first month of the season off with 5 or 4, whatever I said, and ending with 8. It's an unfortunate side effect of Taylor Lewan getting injured, but it's for the good of the team. You had to do what you got to do. And, I mean, hey, Derek got 2,000 yards because of it, so obviously something went right. The defensive X factor that I think that we're going to need against the Ravens is going to be Jeffrey Simmons. He is the one player that has just consistently just been good, just straight up, not trash, I should really say. Every time that he's on the field, I feel like he can make an impact, because for the first about half of the season, he'd have a batted down ball literally every single game. I felt like at least once or twice a game, you'd see a big old paw go up in the air and knock a ball down right at the line of scrimmage. It was Big Jeff. If we are going to have a snowball's chance in hell of stopping Lamar Jackson and the Ravens on Sunday, then Jeffrey Simmons is going to need to come up big, and he's going to need to do that multiple times throughout the game. Stephen Gostkowski, as of right now, he is still on the COVID list. And fortunately, Sam Sloman is not a scrub. He proved that, hit every single kick. I think he was would have been 5 for 5 on extra points and 2 for 2 on field goals. Did exactly what we needed him to. That last field goal, right when it hit that crossbar, I thought we were going into overtime. I thought it missed. It somehow didn't. Everyone on the sideline thought it missed too. Panned over to Derrick Henry on the sideline. He mouthed, "Oh no, he missed it." It panned over to a couple of the trainers on the sideline. One of them threw their towel because he thought he missed it, but he kicked it. It went in. That was all. It was all she wrote. We did not have to go into overtime for a third time this year. We don't have any divas on the team. Fortunately for us, everyone knows that we come in, we do our job, we go execute, we leave. Everyone knows, in the building, out the building, that the ball is going to be given to Derrick Henry. Every single person watching a Titans game, playing a Titans game, just people who don't watch the games know that Derrick Henry is going to be getting the ball. If we beat the Ravens, the best case scenario for us going forward is playing the Steelers, I believe. No, I'm wrong. The best case scenario will be playing the Browns. And that's not going to happen, unfortunately, because that would require the Colts beating the Bills, which there's no chance of happening. The Bills are too good right now. I do not want to play the Bills. I would play the Chiefs before I play the Bills. The Buffalo Bills' 3 losses were our one loss against us, which was the one true bad loss they've had. Another was on the Hail Murray play against the Cardinals, which DeAndre Hopkins made the catch of the decade, really. Just going up between 3 people and just mossing every single one of them. Literally just a Megatron play. And then they lost to the Chiefs, I believe, in a 1-score game. So the Buffalo Bills have legitimately had one bad loss all year. Every other game, they've basically just kicked the doors in on their opponents and just completely decimated every single one of them. All right, thank you, everyone who has listened to this podcast. This is just not really a spur. We've been talking about this for like almost a year at this point, doing something like this, but we appreciate every single person that decided to tune in tonight. We're going to be doing this basically every week. Hopefully, for the foreseeable future, nothing happens too damnably. But if you like what you hear, Give us a little rating. Give us a little like on YouTube, wherever this goes up, wherever you listen to the podcast. Give us a little comments and feedback. We always want to get better every day, as a man we used to know once said. Better every day and never satisfied. That is the Titans slogan for the playoffs this year. That's our approach to this. Never satisfied. We are going to just keep chugging along. But yeah, that's rookie mode. Ain't that crazy? For the podcast episode.